Hey, GAP Math students. It's your math teacher, Joe. Most of you know me already. There's a couple new students, but this is a video for session 5, kind of the expectations for the class. Some of these things will be similar to what we've done before. Some of them will be a little different. So I just want to go over this. Make sure you're listening, following along. You will actually take a test on this to make sure you understand what is expected of you for the class. Hopefully you're watching this on Tuesday, February 2nd. If not, if you didn't do it the first day and you're watching it later, some of these things that I'm going to talk about may have already happened. First of which is on Wednesday, February 3rd, so tomorrow, from when I'm recording this, you're going to be having a pickup at GAP, and one of the things you're doing at that is getting some materials for your new classes. Math, you'll be getting a folder. Math 9-10 will be getting a yellow folder. Math 11-12 will be getting a blue folder. What's in the folders is you're going to get a packet for the class. So Math 9-10 is doing Intro to Geometry this session. So covering the basics of geometry. If you've already had geometry in another school or something, hopefully this is easier for you, but it's also, it's probably not exactly the same type of stuff. At GAP, we try to cover all the subjects in a year in kind of the most important stuff that you need in those topics. So this session, we're doing geometry. Two other things that will be in your folder: a syllabus or a class expectation sheet. We'll go over that in a second. And also this session, I made a calendar to follow along if you want to stay on track and not have to do a bunch of work at the end or something like that. Math 11-12 will have those two sheets also, the expectations and the calendar on this side, your packet on this side. It's a continuation of last time you had me. It's percents, ratios, and proportions, part 2. So it's going to go a little more in depth in what we did before, which I think is important for real life. So now what we're going to do is kind of go over some of that stuff and then talk about what you should be doing online when you come on and check the Teams page. So I'm going to share my screen here. Shut the camera off. Okay. So first thing we're going to do, now you don't have this sheet yet, but this is what's in the folder. This class expectation sheet. So you don't need it yet if you're going to take the test in this video, or you can wait till Wednesday to take the test to get this sheet if you want to have it next to you when you take it. But we're going to go a little faster than I've done in the other sessions on this because we've talked about this stuff. Best way to communicate with me is the Teams chat. Type in my name if you need to communicate with me. Second best way is to text. That's my school cell phone. If you're having issues with Teams and you can't get on Teams or something like that, then you text me, let me know right away. I'd probably be the first person to contact if there's an issue getting on Teams, things like that. Objective and environment, you know, I'm not expecting any of you to be mathematicians or super excellent at math. I want you to be prepared for whatever you're going to do after this, whether it's just a basic job and the basic math for that job, if you're going to go to college, whatever. And I can help you, if you're going to go to college, I can get you some extra math to help you be more prepared. Otherwise, it's just the basics, that type of thing. So kind of expect this to be like a job for you as far as just doing the things what's asked of you. If you do what you would do in a normal job, you're going to be successful. And two of those things that I think are very important is communication and work ethic. Okay, those are two huge things. If you have both of those things in here, you're going to be fine. You're going to get full credit, and all will be good. Even if you're not great at math, if you do those two things, you're going to be fine. So communication and work ethic, two huge things for this class. Quickly, I've talked about this before, but we do sessions now instead of quarters. We usually have done quarters, and you have 6 classes per day all year for each quarter. Now you alternate between 3 classes, and we have a session. So when we usually have 6 classes in a quarter, each class is an hour a day. So now the expectation, or the time set aside when you only have 3 classes, is 2 hours a day. So that would be the most I'd ever expect out of you, is 2 hours a day. But if you're staying on track, and that's why I have that calendar, and we'll look at it in a second, you're never going to have to do 2 hours of math in a day. Okay, if you get behind and you want to catch up and things like that, you may have to at the end, if you're skipping days here and there. But if you're staying on track, you'll never have to do 2 hours a day. How you earn credit. So this is important. 50% of your grade is test, quizzes, and assignments. Basically just tests. Every once in a while I might give an assignment that's worth test points. And then the other 50% is what I call respect and effort. Okay. Now when we're in school, some of that has to do with behavior. When we're out of school, that's really not an issue. So mainly when we're distance learning, it's going to be daily tasks and note taking. 2 things that should be very easy. Okay. A daily task is something usually very easy. I might have you just send me a message of a word, or I might, it might be something simple as like, what coins would you have to give me 35 cents and change? And you just send me that. That counts as your daily task. Note taking is just watching a video, copying notes. We'll talk about that a little more in a bit. But those 2 things, if you do those 2 things, you'll have 50% in the class. That's without taking a test. And if you have 50% in the class, if we look down here, that would get you half credit. So just by doing those 2 easy things, you should get half credit in this class. And then you do some tests, you should be able to earn full credit, or even if you're not doing great on the tests, 3/4 credit. But if you're doing all this easy stuff, you don't even have to do that great on the test to get full credit. Attendance, which is just checking in, still treated as if we are in regular school. We expect 90% or above. If it is, whatever credit you earn stays as is. If your attendance drops, so does your credit. Okay, so if you had 60% attendance, you're only checking in 60% of the time, your credit's going to drop by 0.5. Okay. How this class will work. A lot of this is the same as before. Lessons will be pre-recorded. You can watch them whenever you want. You'll have a hard copy of the packet in your folder. You're going to watch a video, copy the notes down in your folder. Okay. Each section is worth however many points, however many problems I do, whatever amount of notes I take. If you copy everything down, you get all the points. It's that easy. Okay. We will not do every problem in the packet. Okay. I will do main problems, but however, I do recommend doing at least some of them to make sure you're ready for the test. Now, after the notes, you might be like, oh, I've done this before. I'm great. I don't need to practice. I'm ready for the test. Otherwise, if not, you should practice some problems. The answers are in the packet. Answers to all the problems are in the end of each section, so you can check your understanding. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so you can do the problems, check your answers. If you got it, good. If you're not getting them right, that's when you ask a question. Okay. As far as questions, and we'll look at the packet here in a second, again, explain more about that, but questions, and whether it's how to do a problem, if you're ready for a test, anything you need to ask me, the best time to ask is during your class time. So Math 11-12, the best time is 8:30 to 10:30. Math 9-10, the best time is 10:30 to 12:30. You will always have priority if you are contacting during your class. Now, if you're in Math 9-10 and you contact me at 9 o'clock and I'm not busy, I will help you. Or vice versa. If you're 11-12 and you contact me at noon and I'm not working with the 9th and 10th grader, then I'll help you. Okay. If you contact me 8:30 to 12:30, that is the quickest response time you'll get. I will get back to you as soon as possible, unless I'm working with somebody or making a video for class or something like that, but I will contact you very quickly. If you contact me from 12:30 to 3:30, that's still pretty good, but a lot of times I have meetings, or that's when I do most of my recording of my videos and things like that. I will still get back to you. After 3:30, you can still contact me, okay? But it might take longer. If I'm at home and not busy, I'll get back to you right away. If I'm with my family and doing stuff, then it's, it might be the next morning, okay? But I'll always get back to you by the next morning if it's after school hours. If you need in-person help, either with technology or math, you can ask me to set up an appointment to meet at GAP, and that goes for any class. You guys can come in the GAP, you just have to clear it with a teacher first and make sure someone's going to be here. And it's a great way to get help, okay? Good one-on-one help, okay? Don't forget to check in daily for attendance. Most of you are doing that pretty well. And most of you know by now, checking in with another teacher does not count for this class. Also, checking in for attendance for my class. Now, each class could be different with this, but for my class, I'll take a check-in and count it anytime during the day from the morning until like 3:30. It's all good. It doesn't have to be during my class time. Now, again, checking in during class time is good because that's the best time to ask questions, but it doesn't have to be then, okay? This yellow part here, very important. Okay, this is how you will get the information for the class, and I'll go over this in a second. It says make sure to check both the general channel and your chat messages daily. This is very important. The general channel will have the to-dos for the day and often include an easy daily task, which is worth respect and effort points. I will often send you chat messages about your progress in class, along with any individual communication needed. So I'll go over that again in a second here. As far as the tests, there will be many smaller tests as we go through. If you look through the packet and you think you know the stuff, you can ask me for a test and test out of it, but it needs to be done before I post the notes. And you'll see on the calendar, you'll know when I'm going to post the notes. You'll have to finish that test within 1 day. If you pass it, you don't need to take the notes on that topic, and then you can move ahead, okay? So if you look through the packet and you're like, oh, section 1 through 4, I know how to do that. I'm going to try to test out of that. Just let me know and I'll send it to you. Also with the test, you can retake any topics that you don't do well on, even part of tests. So you'll see here in a bit if you're new, but if you're taking a test on objectives 1 through 4 and you do well on 1 and 2, but not 3 and 4, you can retake just parts 3 and 4. But that's up to you to ask for that opportunity, and then just don't let you fall behind. Okay. So again, make the best out of this situation. It's not the best for everyone doing the distance learning, but again, if you want to come in, ask, and we can set something up. Also, communicate and work ethic. Again, huge, 2 big things. If you do that, you're going to be fine in this class. Let's look at the calendar now. Let's go to this view. Okay, so today I'm posting this. I'm posting the expectations video, and I will be posting a test afterward, expectations video test. Okay, so you have today, to stay on track, you have today and tomorrow to get that done. Okay, I'm not posting anything new tomorrow. That's the day where you're going to pick up stuff at school. Then you can see kind of how the schedule is going to go. I'm going to post notes on one day. So when it tells you what I'm going to do, math 11, 12, it's going to be objectives 22 through 26, math 9, 10, 1 through 4. So I'll post one day. Then you're going to have, and so if you're going to stay on track, that's the day just to copy the notes. So that's generally a half an hour, give or take. Okay. And if you do it that day, you could be done. Then the next day, I give time that you should set time aside to practice some problems and ask any questions. And then the third day of that topic, should be the day you ask for the test and take the test and turn it in. And then it all starts over again. The next day I would post a new video, a day to practice and ask questions, a day to test. And it just keeps going that way until the first week of March here. I give some extra work days. Now again, you could go faster. If you did this day in the notes and you understand everything, you could ask for the test right here. And you really wouldn't have anything to do unless you wanted to try to test out on the next one. Okay. Or if you get behind, you have something important and you go on vacation this weekend or whatever, or something happens, you're working, just know that the next one will be posted here, and to catch up, you might have to do like 2 sets of notes in a day, or do notes and a practice one day, test the next day, and then start getting caught up. But this schedule will be on the Teams page also. It'll be in your folder. So this would be, again, you don't have to do these things on this day, but this is what I suggest, and this is how you'll stay on track and not have to do a bunch of work at the end, and you'll never have to do probably over an hour of work a day for a class that's set for 2 hours. Okay. All right. So just how these packets are looking. They're broken up. So this would be objectives 22 through 26. There'll be more shown on here in the notes. I lost some of the notes on this one. And then you go to the end of that section, there's the answers. Okay. The other thing you'll see in the notes is I'll circle the problems that I did so that you can see if you're trying to do another problem that's like it, and it's hard to see right here, and I'll explain this in the other videos. It can help you do the other problems that are similar to that. So this is what notes will look like. Okay. You just have to copy those down. Same for the geometry. Okay, there's be some notes you have to copy, and then you'll get points. And there's problems I didn't do. Those will be ones you could practice. And then when you get to the end of the section, here are the answers. So again, remember in the answers, if you've had me before, they're not in order. They're in groupings of types of problems. So, if you want the answer to number 1, it's down here. That would be there, that type of thing. All right, last thing we're going to do, we're going to look at what it'll look like when you sign in. Now this looks different because it's all math. This is just my example student. And I'll show you what to do with these old ones here. So these are session 4. You'll have one of these 2 along with your other classes. Now, a couple things to look for. Anytime there's a red thing on the Teams, that means something was posted in one of your teams. So you should click on Teams and check it out here. Anytime you have a red dot here, you should look in your chat messages, and I'll click on that in a second. Same with activities. That could either be someone tagged you or somebody sent to you. You can click on that. So when you go into these, what you should be doing each day, you click on your class. Okay. In the general channel, so this again was session 4, there will be like a to-do. Okay. So hit see more and you can read the to-dos. Sometimes I'll do a video and I'll explain the to-dos. Or a lot of times it'll look like this. The to-dos for this date. Last session I had a problem with this. Read the whole post. There's something usually involved in here where you can get easy points. So I'll even show you here. But it'll tell you, check in for attendance, which I'll show you in a second. What you should be doing today. If you had missing work, what should you do? If you're going to stay on track, what would be what I posted that day? And here's an example of the daily tasks. Okay, all I did was I wanted you to write me a chat message. Send me a name of any shape with exactly 4 sides. That's an example of a daily task. So you could send me a rectangle, you can send me square, quadrilateral, a diamond. Okay, and you would get your daily points. It just shows me that you took the time to read my post. Okay. So then you read the to-dos for that day. Okay, so the latest one will always be at the bottom. So this was the last day of last session. Attendance check-in, you just come in here and just write here and your name will show up and then I know you checked in. Make sure you're doing that for your classes. That's the way teachers keep track of attendance. And then I have a separate what we call tab or channel here for any of the video notes will be posted in this. So if you're behind, you would just go up and find the one that you're missing, click on it, and do the notes. Okay. If you have a bunch of teams up here, okay, in your old classes, the way you can get rid of your old classes, click on these three dots, hit hide, and it goes down here. I want to get rid of this one, click hide, move it down here. They don't go away, they're just all down here in the old ones. Okay, if you want to rearrange your ones up here, you can move them around like this. Okay, put them in order or whatever. Okay, the next thing, if you see a number here on the chat messages, oh, so again, I still have a number here. That means there's been a post I haven't looked at yet. So only I just put on there so far. If you don't have the Teams app on your phone, go on here and get it on your phone. It's going to make some things easier, like sending pics of your work and stuff like that. So if you don't have the Teams app on your phone, watch this video, get that on there. Okay, so again here, same thing. Something here I haven't seen, so there. Okay, now when I go back, there's no red dot on there. There's nothing I have to check. I have a number here in my chat message. This is just an example of if I send you something, it'll look like this. So like here, I just sent my example person a test, and then I wrote, did you get the test I sent you, and like that. Okay, so check those. Different activities, you can click on there, and it'll just have different things where it's mentioned the classes that you are in. Okay, so I think that is all I need to go over. Make sure after you watch this that you're looking for the tests that you need to do. It'll be posted right below this. If you have any questions on this, make sure to let me know. And we will have the first notes posted on Thursday, February 4th. All right, later.